Elon Musk made a final appearance with Donald Trump this after breaking with the president over his big tax cut bill.
So, I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, doesn't decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
At the Oval Office presser, Fox's Peter Doocy started to ask Musk about a detailed report on his allegedly frequent drug use, including ecstasy and psychedelic mushrooms, to the point where, the article says, it damaged his bladder.
There is a New York Times report today that accuses you of blurring the line between...
Is the New York Times, is that the same publication that's got a Pulitzer Prize for false reporting on the Russiagate? Is it the same organization?
I gotta check my Pulitzer counter.
It is. I think the judge just ruled against New York Times for their lies about the Russiagate hoax, and that they might have to give back that Pulitzer Prize. That New York Times. Let's move on.
Tommy, that's called deflection. Here is the article on the front page of today's paper. You can see the picture of Elon Musk there. So he decided to talk about something from 5 years ago involving the Pulitzers because he knew that he did not want to answer that question. That's my take. What's yours?
Well, again, I don't know if the New York Times actually produced any real evidence of a so-called drug problem. But again, the left loved Elon Musk, even if he was a billionaire that did mushrooms on the side and maybe a little ketamine. They didn't have a single problem with it. They loved the Teslas. They loved Elon. They loved space flight. They loved all of it. And then he came out as a Trump supporter. And now you've got headline news with everything going on in the country and the world about Elon Musk allegedly maybe doing some mushrooms, maybe a little Adderall. Again, please spare me. This does not impact everyday Americans. It also didn't impact his ability, if he in fact does have a recreational drug issue, to cut $150 billion and recommend even more cuts on behalf of Doge. So again, I know that they're looking for some kind of scandal there, but I think it's a real nothing burger, and I don't think many people, quite frankly, care what Elon Musk does in his personal private time.
Well, Musk has acknowledged using prescription ketamine, and he didn't talk to the Times for the story or his lawyer, but he has since posted on X, "I am not taking drugs. The New York Times was lying their ass off." Hey, I'm just quoting the stuff, folks. So, Laura, just so the audience understands, the court didn't rule on the merits of the New York Times and Washington Post receiving those Pulitzer Prizes in 2018 for coverage of the Russia probe, just rejected the request to delay the case until Donald Trump's out of office. But I'm sure you want to respond to Tommy.
Well, what I want to respond to is my Law and Order colleague saying it's okay when a billionaire does ketamine and has suitcases full of drugs that he totes around while he's cutting veterans' benefits and he's making it harder to get your Social Security check by cutting staffers. I think the challenge is that we carve out a huge loophole when it comes to the rich, and that is consistent. And also, it's sort of remarkable to me that Elon Musk is even criticizing Donald Trump, that he is saying, like, yes, this bill is going to add trillions of dollars to the deficit. But it does not surprise me that Elon Musk was on ketamine while he was running around doing illegal things with Doge and coming up short when it comes to actual savings and actual targeting of waste, fraud, and abuse. So the New York Times has sourced its story, including with digital receipts, as well as multiple sources. I think they said 6. So I'm pretty confident that the reporting is accurate.
Well, you know, Musk does deserve credit for at least trying to carry out these Doge budget cuts. There's certainly less of it, even by his account, than he originally hoped to do, Tommy. But is the question of drug use? There's also a lot in this Times piece about dealing with the mothers of his many children. Fair game for the media? Or is it just anti-Musk sentiment, as you were pointing out?
Well, obviously, it's anti-Musk sentiment. If he were on the left, I don't think we would be talking about it the same way that we weren't supposed to talk about the cocaine in the White House, never knew what happened to that. We were not supposed to talk about Hunter Biden, who had a drug addiction and broke the law. So again, let's just apply this evenly, the outrage here. I don't quite frankly care what Elon Musk does in his personal time. I don't care if he's on prescription ketamine. I could not care less. What I care about is the fentanyl that was pouring through the southern border. I would love to see the left as outraged about that. And if you want to talk talk about people breaking the law, you want to talk about people running rampant in our country, I don't think it's Elon Musk. I think it's all the criminal illegal aliens that Democrats on a routine basis are going to El Salvador, sitting outside of ICE detention facilities. You all are advocating for the wrong people, and then you're outraged by Elon Musk. He would have cut more.
But Laura, let me just jump in. Why did Trump want to have this sort of farewell presser with Elon Musk, where Elon Musk actually ended up not saying much? And wasn't it weird that he kind of read from notes while paying tribute to the former Doge head and the world's richest man?
Donald Trump and his behavior in press conferences is always odd and is always circuitous. So none of that is surprising to me. I think what we need to look at
always compelling and makes news.
Yeah, no, it's true.
At
it's
least
true.
he does
and
press conferences.
He wanted to make news for. What he wanted to make news for was keeping this friendship with the world's richest man. So even though by all palace intrigue reports, they are not on good terms, he needs the deep pockets. He needs him to fulfill his multi-$100 million commitment to Trump's political coffers. And so this relationship is very important, even though there was, by all accounts, a lot of turmoil among his staff. And he has obviously public disagreements with him about his political agenda and his bills on the Hill. So it was important for them to keep it copacetic in front of the cameras.
Well, journalists can't resist metaphors. If we could put the picture up, on his last day as a special government employee, Elon Musk showed up with a big black eye. Now, he said that came from inviting his young son to punch him in the face. I would say the kid has a pretty good right hook, and we'll close with that image of the black eye, but he still got all the money. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.